Okay.
So can you please, for Dr. Najwan, he is looking for master student and also a PhD student. So for PhD position, he's looking for students who venture in the PV renewable energy system, whereas for the master is looking for a student who will be tackling on the MPPT algorithm. Okay, please you can please explain a bit about your research project.
Okay. Good evening to all the students. So, as mentioned, I'm Dr. Muhammad Najwan from the electrical engineering course. Currently, I am looking for prospect MSc and PhD students. First, I will explain a little bit on the research scope for the MSc position I'm looking for. So basically I'm just putting the scope here, which is on MPPT algorithm. So in brief, some of you might have known. Maybe we could look at the figure below. Okay, thank you. Okay. So for those interested in power electronics, maybe I believe you have taken the power electronics and advanced power electronics course, and you might have learned about converters. So if we jump deeper into the converters area, we will learn about MPPT, which is an algorithm to track for maximum power from PV panel. So my research interest for this MSc position is basically to maybe to come up with an improved MPPT algorithm. This is a slightly broad scope, which we will further tone down as we have further discussion if you're interested. So we might improve the MPPT algorithm itself in a lot, in terms of maybe tracking speed, maybe the steady state oscillation, or maybe even the efficiency of the converter itself. So it is a really interesting area to jump into, and so I believe those who are interested in power electronics would love this area because we will be dealing with renewable energy. So mainly for MPPT, we are dealing with solar renewable energy system, PV. So I believe to those who are interested can contact me for this position. And okay, so just to be clear with you, currently I am applying for grants. So if everything goes well, maybe once you have graduated, if everything goes well, I might have received the grant so we can work on this together. All right, maybe now we could look at the PhD position. All right, so for PhD position, it is slightly related to the previous MSc position, but it is more into the control scheme of a standalone renewable energy system. So instead of only looking at the DC to DC converter side, we are jumping further into the application to power loads, either AC loads or DC loads. So the standard converters in the currently available system will require at least 2 or more controllers. So what I am thinking right now is that it is actually really possible to reduce the number of converters and control systems needed to achieve the same functions as currently available system, which require more number of controllers as well as converters. So basically, to reduce the number of required power electronic components inside this integrated control system. Right. So yes, I have a question here. Is this title open to electrical students only or available for electronic or mechatronic students too? So to to be fair, this topic is basically more related to electrical students because if I'm not mistaken, the power electronics and advanced power electronics subjects are only taken by electrical students. So of course it can be taken by electronic and mechatronic students as well because the concepts or converters are basically similar to the electronic system as well. But you might need to, in the initial stage, you might need to learn a lot, right? So I think, is there anything else there, that I should add? If nothing else, I think that's all from my side.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dr. Najwan. So please, as what Dr. Najwan have mentioned that, there's a prospective grant which is on the way. And if you're interested to discuss further, then please contact him from the email, okay? Especially from those students from the electrical program. So let's look at the next opportunity, which is all right. So this is actually, let me share again. So the next one will be the all right. So the next one will be the from Dr. Zuraini, or Associate Professor Dr. Zuraini. So she's looking for a master student who will be investigating on triboelectric transducer. So this is actually under the category of energy harvesting. So you can imagine that you can harvest a rainfall. Or you can convert those free falling of raindrops into something useful. So please do contact her directly. And she's looking for a full-time research student, and also with good communication skill. And there's allowance being provided. Okay, allowance will be 1,500 per month. As you know, based on my slide, master by research, you can the minimum semester completion is 2 semester, which is equivalently to 1 year. But usually the normal mode is 2 years, okay, for research mode, right? Okay. Next one is actually on the by Insigne Dr. Muhammad Tramizi. So he's looking for a PhD student focusing on the smart glove for the post-stroke rehab. And then there'll be allowance being paid for 2,500 per month. This is actually a project of which he is a member of a program. I'm actually the head of the program for this project. So I do encourage you to further contact him directly to know more about this project. Okay, so this is actually collaboration involved with industry, as well as with medical collaborators on specifically on the neuro rehab, neuro rehab specialists, as well as for those from the social science. Because this particular project involved how we can reduce the reliance of worker on the government's what we call pension scheme. Okay, right. So please do apply to we call Dr. Tarmizi, and there's one. There's one more left. I think there's one. They have missed out several of. Give me a. Okay. All right. I think I didn't miss out. Okay. So there's another of your lecturers who also, okay, this one should be, okay. Right, so are you able to, this is one, another one is actually, all right. Oh. All right, so let's share. Oh. And okay, this is actually a, well, it's actually sharing the whole research. Okay, this is actually a research work done by Associate Professor Insignio TS Dr. Jason. So Dr. Jason is looking for a PhD and master student to look into the what we call power quality, in particular on the grid, right? So you can see based on the model, we call it a charge and demand model, and there's a then you can characterize for the WECC. I'm sure you are familiar with the WECC as a kind of a charge and demand over a course of a day, and from that you can determine the capacity. You're able to determine what are the storage generations, for the efficiency. So you're able to determine the load profile on the process. Okay, so please contact Dr. Jason. I think he didn't give me the poster with his email, but you can kindly contact him for further question. Okay, and the last lecturer with will be my colleague Dr. Sata. So as you can see, he is specialized in soft robotics. So this also have the same scope. I mean, he's also a member in my program. We are working on a big project, Trans. So he be applying his knowledge on the soft robotic to create a smart glove. So we like to develop. He will be working on the soft actuator aspect of the glove, and we want to prove that the glove that we develop is much more competitive than the existing market. Okay, and this is he's looking for well, he say here a mechatronics student, and there is a monthly stipend of 2,500 for 3 years. Okay, right. Do contact him directly if you're interested. All right. So if you have any questions with regard to any of the postgraduate opportunities, if you have any questions, please do ask. We would be posting this poster as well on the website. Okay, so you can also refer to the website when it is uploaded, right? Okay, if you want to have further questions, and some of you have asked whether this is whether it allowance or not. Yes, there is an allowance, as you can see. For example, like Dr. Koo, she has an allowance being paid for the full 3 years. And then for Dr. Najwan, he has also expecting to receive a grant, which will be supporting the research work. And then Dr. Zuraini, she has also a grant to support, as well as Dr. Tarmizi. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all from me. Dr. Heidi, thank you for allowing the slot.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nasruddin. Telco, I pass it to you back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all your attention. So I think you are looking forward for the last slide. Okay, let me share the last slide. Okay. Is it this slide? Wait, let me share. Okay. Okay, the last slide is the attendance password. So these are the attendance password. Okay. With that, if you have any question or not, if not, then we shall stop here by today. Shall end here. Students too. Oh no.